Warning, this video is intended for audience who are 13 or older. If you are not 13 or older, please fuck off and tell your parents to moderate what you watch online. William, hey. Hey, Skype is over. We're no longer recording over Skype. We're continuing this episodic narrative within this series.
Oh, okay. Well, glad to know, I guess. Yeah. So.
That's right. There's no more Skype ever to be featured on the show until one day when I suddenly lose internet for a day and we're forced to record over Skype.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. Oh my god.
Right? Everything is fixed now. Everything is okay. Just like Spider-Man in No Way Home.
That's not as. We're not doing that. What are you talking about?
What are you saying?
What are you saying?
Boy, hey. So I really want to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home and the spoiler, right? Because I really want to clickbait this video with Spider-Man spoilers,
Why would
right?
you do that?
Right?
There's
right?
no point.
But it occurred to me that this video will be uploaded after Spider-Man No Way Home is shown in theaters. So there's no point in me saying anything in this video because by this point, Spider-Man would already be out, so I can't get any of those clickbait views. So nothing I said will matter, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah. There you
go. Like how everyone is here in Spider-Man. How Spider-Man gets cucked in the movie.
Oh. Does he? You know what?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You're talking about the leaks?
Oh, well, once again, Marvel Studio doing the best by making Spider-Man be a loser and getting cucked.
Hold on. Let me see if there are spoilers yet.
Oh no, there's spoilers. The movie premiered last night. There's a whole fuck ton. I've already known the movie. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Spider-Man gets cucked.
All right.
All right. That's the title of this video, by the way. Just so I can use it.
I legit don't care, so I'm about to look at it.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey. Aunt May dies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my.
She's the one that gives the speech in the movie in the MCU universe apparently.
Speech in.
The speech.
The speech.
The speech.
What do you mean the speech?
The Spider-Man speech.
Oh, you mean the great power thing?
Yeah, she's the one that says it in this universe.
Wait, so, but okay, what? I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright then, whatever. I really don't
Yeah.
care. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. So wait, is that like the only thing?
Mm-hmm.
Has it also has?
Oh no, there's a lot of great stuff happening. So you saw Venom too, right?
No, not yet.
But are you aware of the post-credit scene of Venom 2, right?
I am aware, yes.
Yeah, when Venom just magically gets teleported into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? Oh, he only stays there for like 10 minutes, and he fucks right back home. That's it.
Really?
That's totally it. The mid-credit scene of No Way Home is Venom is a continuation of that scene, right? Of Eddie and Venom just sitting up after being teleported to that hotel. Right? And they're just at the bar of the same hotel drinking and trying to get caught up on the Marvel universe, right? And then they immediately get transported back after that. Like after they get explained about the Marvel universe, they're like, all right, that's really cool. Then a magic portal just turns them back, takes them back home, and that's it.
Huh.
That's literally it.
Okay.
And that's how the symbiote gets introduced, by the way. Because apparently when it gets transported back, a piece of Venom gets left behind, and that's how they introduce the symbiote into the MCU universe. That's literally it. It's like the funniest thing ever.
Huh. Okay then.
Actually funny, because it's literally just them in a bar just shit posting, and then you just get like, oh, they're like they made a plan, like, all right, we're in the MCU universe, let's plan out our lives and everything and figure out how to get jobs, right? Like they make a whole plan for living in this new universe, then they just get teleported back, and that's it.
Huh. Well, all right then.
It's like the funniest thing ever.
All right then. Well.
Also, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is old. It turns out. Who would have thought?
Yeah,
They actually make old Spider-Man jokes.
Oh my god.
Like he actually jokes about, boy, I'm too old for this shit.
Not
Hey,
go-
but at least Kaito isn't that old in
Oh,
Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. We discussed this series about
Wow.
Kikai. For Allison, a person with years of knowledge about Spider-Man, No Way Home leaks, and joined by my friend William. That's you, William. A person who has been infected with the symbiote.
Yeah.
As we discussed the latest Super Sentai season, Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. Hey, welcome to episode 39. Happy birthday to Infinite New Year's. All right.
Ooh. Happy birthday,
Hey.
I guess.
Yeah, hey, Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day.
Groundhog. Well, yeah, that happened. Well, it's not even Groundhog Day. It's just they're constantly celebrating New Year's. That's literally what the power of this fucking guy is. And then I guess it's like, oh god, I need to talk about how. Oh, okay, well, I mean we'll get there, but god, the way they solved the issue of his powers is kind of dumb to me. But
Yeah. Hey, at least they remember. At least they remember that New Year world is still resolved. It's still around, right? And they didn't just forget about it. At least they somewhat
Yeah.
acknowledge that New Year world is still existing, right? Which is like the funniest thing. Like I mean, they're not doing anything major about it, like right, right? I mean, like right? It's like if you have a if you have a have an infectious virus happening all around the world, but you don't take it seriously, right? Right? It's like that, right? Until it's relevant, until they discover a new variant that appeared at an anime convention,
Yeah.
right?
Fuck yeah, I forgot that happened.
Yeah, America.
God, and it's just like, well, look at that, it's spreading all over again. How
That's right, like the symbiote in the Marvel Cinematic
Man,
Universe.
that's stupid. How is it gonna? Okay, whatever, man. Guess that's their. Man, you know what? When we watch that movie, when I watch that movie, then I can complain about it. But anyway.
Okay, then you get. Oh yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Hey, so it's Kaito's birthday, by the way, right? He's 21 apparently.
Yeah, and you know everyone's like, hey, here we go, we made a cake and everything, and right. Also, apparently, Zox decided to do a song and dance number. So that was a whole thing, but then we of course there's some
because you gotta remember his Zox's actor is an actual idol member, right? Like he's from like a male idol group and everything, right? Which I thought was really funny, right?
Yeah.
No, the best part was how they do the whole setup, right? Like he's about to do his big musical piece, right?
Yeah, Like he's full on dancing. He's giving a whole dance number. He's just really building up the fucking hype for the song that he made for Kaito and everything, right? And then
right. That just fucking said just like, hey, remember that monster that showed up last week? You guys should probably do something about it.
Yeah, and then literally just like, oh well, look at that. Everyone literally goes up to the fucking monster of the week, right? It's just like everyone's just complaining about the fact like, why did you interrupt? It's his birthday. Literally everyone just went up to him and started complaining to the goddamn villain of the week. Even fucking Kaito. It's like Zox was like pissed off that he's just like.
No, it's really funny how everyone just calls it out and everything. The fact that he's New Year's world, right? And but the fact that it's not even Christmas yet, right? And that they're already doing a New Year based villain, right?
Honestly, it's actually pretty fucking great how they all get pissed off at him.
It's pretty fucking great how they do this scene, honestly.
Yeah.
Like New Year was just trying to do his stupid villain gimmick, but everyone is just calling him out like you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
right?
honestly,
right?
It's fucking wild what they do, man. Oh my god, but yeah, of course, like after they get their complaints on everything, they go for the transformation.
Yeah, they choose violence and everything, right? They're like, all right, time to kill you.
Just hella violence. Good god. Also, fucking Stacy's just kind of off in the background, kind of just looking at like. This is after New Year's, where it's like, oh, Stacy Huckheiser, get over here.
Please come help me, please. Please help Pooh. Help Pooh. Help Pooh.
Literally nobody comes except for Stacy, and even Stacy doesn't really go out into the middle of the place. He's just off on the side, just like having his own bit of a monologue, where he's just like, he's just like, I did this to Kaito. Well, should I even be helping anymore? He's just there to kind of show that he has a crisis of faith and everything, right, and what he's doing and everything. And then
right, yeah, like Stacy's really questioning his whole life and everything, you know.
Yeah, apparently getting almost killed by your mother does that to you, so. But like fucking so that happens, and then right before they get into the fight, literally like New Year's World does his power. And then it just kind of like before we get into the opening sequence, it just kind of ends on them all being like uniformed, like in yukatas or I don't I don't know if there are specific terms
Yeah,
for
yeah,
each
yeah.
one.
Like robes and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
all dressed up, and there's like, oh, Happy New Year's. They do that basically, that greeting when you greet the
Yeah, yeah,
Happy
yeah.
the New Year
Yeah.
in, right? And then that's when the
Mhm.
opening credits come in.
Yeah.
And then, well, credits is opening credits is as usual, except for that weird stuff that happens.
Mhm.
I swear to God, they get weirder every time. Like I watched them.
Oh, yeah, no, it makes once again, it makes no sense. Once again, I guess they're ghosts this
I
time,
don't know.
right?
It's weird.
You saw right there. It's like a really faint, like a really faint image of them
Yeah,
appearing in the.
yeah, because they're like fading in and out, and every time I see it, I'm like, this is probably the most disturbing one yet, in the sense that it just feels
Yeah?
odd. It feels so
I legitimately
odd.
thought it was gonna jump scare at some point with this, right?
Yeah.
It looks really fucking weird with the fact that what's going on in this scene, right?
Yeah.
And once again, it's due to the fact that these bits in the opening makes no sense in conjunction to the rest of the show, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what the themes are we talk about, right? With these opening bits was how like the scene of them is like always had no correlation,
Yeah,
right?
like,
It's
none
so
at
fucking
all.
weird what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just a Philip Spacer to do something different, but it's just like, even down, like, it's so odd. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah, especially this one doesn't help. It's just literally them fading into existence, right?
They're fading in and out, really, and it's just very.
Yeah,
so
like if they're if this was if this was a Back to the Future 2, some would say.
Yeah, yeah, sure. But even then, it's not even
a
Back to the
real
Future.
Kamen Rider revice moment happening
Okay.
right now. Hey, look, we gotta tie this into the Kamen Rider revice video review somehow, right?
I mean,
right? Look,
sure.
this is that cross-brand promotion, right?
A cross brand. I mean, at this point, you might as well just put it under an umbrella term, because we do tokusatsu in general, so we might as well just do tokusatsu.
That's right. It's part of our weekly unnamed tokusatsu podcast series. A weekly series where I, Austin, a person here talking about Super Sentai tokusatsu, and drink by my friend
No,
William.
we're not doing
That's
this
you,
again.
William.
Anyway,
A person
so
with no
going
knowledge
back
about
into the show,
tokusatsu.
it's right after they greeted the new year, right? And then so basically the villain's all like, oh yeah, you know what? Happy New Year too. And literally everyone's like, all right, time for a fresh start. Let's just ignore the bad and just focus on the good, and they just literally fuck off.
Yeah, even though it's still canonically the middle of July. I mean, of December in this.
Yeah,
Right?
and then they literally just fuck off, and then it's just like. Also, it's very weird. Like he kind of.
Apparently that works.
Yeah.
Apparently it works.
Yeah, and apparently, I think from what I'm seeing, he has to time it. Although it never really gets into the specifics of this. Because the thing is, and I feel that we need to mention this now. Because the thing is, he's like paying attention. Like, oh, it's 10 a.m. This is the right on time. And then like they explain this later on in the sense that like. They don't even, they don't explain it. They show, like, he has to wait until it reaches a certain hour, and then he'll gong the bell, like, how you usually would. Like, I guess I would assume clocks in general, like, if on a grandfather clock, if it's 10, it ring, you hear a chime. If it's 11, you hear a chime. I assume it's the same thing here. But yeah, it's weird. They never really explain that outright. They don't do a lot of things in this episode, which kind of annoys me. But, anyway, going back into the show and to the timeline of things. So they fuck off. They go back to the candy shop, and I believe everyone's just kind of fucking confused, right? Like, or at least they asked today in Flint, because they just have no idea why they're back and celebrating and everything, right? And then you come back to the Kikaitopia, where you see Bokuwasa's base, and where Stacy's asking Bokuwasa, like, so where's Hakaiser? It's like, oh, we have him off doing something, that kind of thing.
Yeah, he's off doing a secret. He's off doing a secret mission, right?
Yep.
A real no way home.
Okay.
Some would say, right?
Jesus.
Right. He's going to Andrew Garfield-esque, right?
Yeah, sure. He's gonna.
Oh yeah. By the way, they redeem Andrew Garfield in the movie too. By the way, that's good.
Oh yeah. I mean, I read in the spoilers. Yeah, like he's like MJ has a moment like that, and he's just like, nah, you know what?
Yeah. He saves Tom Holland's MJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. I like that they did that.
Yeah, that's good. That was.
Stay tuned for the Spider-Man No Way Home spoiler cast.
We're talking about the spoilers right now, honestly.
Hey, look. Like the multiverse of madness, right? We are setting up the seeds for Phase 3.
Yeah.
4.
Oh, Jesus. I don't.
The next phase of our multiversal plan.
Yeah.
Right?
I will say though, I'm not sure. I'm not really certain if I like the direction this movie's going in general. But you know, it's whatever.
Mhm.
But anyway,
Mhm.
again, we should discuss it when we actually see the movie. But anyway, so
Yeah. So everyone's having the party when they realize that. Then when they realize, hey, wait a minute, something's not right. No, something's not right about this, right?
yeah, I wonder why, right? Then they
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
and I think they just go back and they haven't figured the power out yet, I believe, right? And then
Yeah. So they just they just go and it's like, all right, New Year World to show up. Gotta go fight him, right? But then Flick's like, wait, hold on, something's acting up. So she and Katana and Ricky, right, go chase after them, right?
yeah. And then
Right, yeah.
so you know they all like the team goes off to fight him and everything. But then of
Mhm.
course he only seems to announce himself at certain times where it's just like when the gong will just happen by like the way he sets it, right? And
Yeah.
so once that happens, then like even if they confront him and they know about it, it's just like, oh, you know what, we the gong happens, we're going back. Although I really like the fact
Mhm.
like once the team leaves, literally Flint just stops them in their tracks and literally just slaps the shit out of Zox and like and Kaito and everything. I'm like, wow.
Right, so he's like, hey, wait a minute, you guys already did this. We already did a New Year's greeting in the middle of December, right?
Yeah, honestly. Also, it doesn't really. Well, I don't. Does it? No, it should snow. It should snow in Japan, right?
Yeah, I mean, Jamaican. I mean, we don't. I mean, look, thanks to climate change, we might never have snow again. So
Yeah. It's kind of surprising we're this deep into December and
yeah,
we have no snow at all.
yeah. Like if only there was a scientific explanation for why the world's climate is acting up, right? That the Republicans the Republic refuse to acknowledge or to take as a serious matter because we're too busy trying to invest into coal mines to please the coal mining states, right?
Yeah.
Who built their entire state on a resource that will eventually run out and not a resource that can generate indefinitely for years to come, right?
Yeah.
If only.
There's also.
Also, Ted Cruz is still a fucking idiot for not knowing how windmills work.
Well, yeah, he's. I mean, we apparently elect dumbasses into the fucking positions of power.
Oh.
But you know, what's new, right? What's
Yeah.
fucking new?
Right? Hey! Spider-Man getting cock. That's what's new. Even though that's always what happens
You
to
know,
him.
I just can't wait for the day where like it's gonna be the middle of July and it snows and a Republican will come out and just reach down into the snow. It's like, hey, look, it's still snowing. Global warming's a lie. Can't wait for that to happen.
Yeah, global warming is a lie, like all those Spider-Man No Way Home leaks that are online. All right.
Yeah, honestly. But anyway,
Right.
so I believe where were we in the timeline? I think so.
Yeah. So Flint's like, hey, what's going on? You guys are we're in the middle of fighting. This isn't like Groundhog Day. You know, it's still the middle of December. You guys gotta celebrate Christmas and everything. But everyone's like, wait a minute, it's the New Year, right?
Yeah, but then you know, of course,
Right.
they start looking around.
But then they decide to literally look to the left of them and realize that, wait a minute, why is it the New Year and there's still a bunch of Christmas themed
I
decorations
love that that's the way they
around?
confirm things. Like, oh, it's still Christmas time because they look at the Christmas
Yeah.
decorations. You know, it would have been funny. You know, what would have been funny though. It's like if they had this filmed during like November and there was just Christmas decorations and instead of them knowing it's November, they just thought it was December because everyone just puts up Christmas decorations right after Thanksgiving.
No, that'd be great.
That would be fucking
would be.
fantastic. Oh, well, I mean Halloween. They don't do Thanksgiving there, but still, the point remains.
Yeah.
It would be fucking amazing.
Yes. So Set Chat realizes that they're Groundhog Daying right now, right? They're like, they're stuck in a perpetual time loop and everything,
don't
right?
think-
And they gotta do something about it.
I don't think you're using Groundhog Day in a correct way. That's not all I'm gonna say.
Hey, look, I'll use anything as an example of analogy, right? Just like how Spider-Man is used as an analogy in this video,
It's
right?
not even being used as an analogy. What are you talking about? You just want to
Willem Dafoe.
What?
That's right.
Wait, what?
That's right, Willem Dafoe.
Oh, you can't just yell out his name. What does that do? It doesn't do anything. It's not even an energy. You're just yelling at his name. What's the point of that? What? Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, we're back at the fucking candy station. Okay, they're still trying to figure things out, and also Kaito has the most like this. Okay, so we've all acknowledged at this point that Kaito's a bit of a fucking idiot, right?
Yeah. Right. That's right. That's
fucking
right.
Kaito.
I mean, it's obvious like he doesn't attend college, right?
Oh yeah, he doesn't. Oh my god, he doesn't. Yeah, you're right. Well, I guess he's there to inherit.
I don't know. He has a girl that he knows in college, but I don't think he himself attended college, right? For all we know, Kaito could be a college dropout in this universe, right?
Well, that or he's like, well, apparently the shop that Yatsuri runs is apparently a real money maker if that's the case, because I would assume that he's set to inherit the shop.
Mm-hmm.
That would make the most sense. But like, the fact that anyway.
So Kaito saves him from think he's fucking way older than
no, yeah. It's just like because he realizes he's in a loop of New Year's, and he just thinks that he's just getting older every time.
Yeah, he just thinks it's a New Year's pass, even though technically the more correct one would be that if keeps resetting back to 0, right? Like it's not actually skipping over to a new year.
Yeah, honestly, and it's just kind of like I'm kind of like. A part of me is like, I'm kind of glad they keep his character consistent, but oh my god, he's just really dumb. Like, holy shit, this is the savior.
He might be an idiot.
This is the savior of multiple worlds. If people knew about Kaito, I feel like they'd be a little worried, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Right. This is who that's left in protection of their world, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's just like a oh no moment right there. But then of course, like during the whole revelation, or well, not non-revelation.
Kaito trying to learn how time space works, right? New Year World shows up again, right? And they gotta go stop him again.
Yeah,
right?
But then of course they really I don't know how they figure out like to run to like a fucking beach of all places. But of course the villain isn't there, and then the gong happens, and then they're like, oh well, now it's all reset. Then they're back at the candy shop, like, well, what are we gonna do about this?
Yep.
And I guess like, hold on, I'm trying to like, everyone's just kind of like, oh well, you know, oh no, everyone's kind of like being like, oh well, sorry we couldn't celebrate your birthday, and then Kaito's like, well, you know, we could just celebrate tomorrow, you know, it's not a big deal. And then, you know, everyone's basically trying to cheer everyone up. But then I guess like Flint makes this line is like, oh well, mistakes are for making them up, right? And it's like, so everything will be all right. And then it's like, you know, Kaito appreciates her words of encouragement, right? And he's like, maybe though. And then it's like, and then it cuts to like commercial break, right? And then it's just like, okay, so here's where things get like, I don't know where he got this idea from, but anyway, so
right, that was like I said, once again proving how non-fucking sense. Oh, sure. Oh yeah, but also there's like a B plot this episode involving Stacy trying to figure out where the fuck Hawkeye and Ijirude is.
Oh
right?
yeah, because
there's just a B plot happening this episode that keeps
yeah, but even then it hardly happens. The B plot. It happens maybe like the once where Boku Wallace is like saying, "Oh yeah, we have them on a mission. Just you go do yours. Don't worry about it." And he's like Stacey's like, "Okay." That's literally what the B plot summary is, you know. Until like he comes back later in the episode. Even then, it's not even to like explore the B plot, but you get like basically New Year's World where he comes down, he's terrorizing some civilians at some cabin in the woods or whatever, right?
Yeah, and like a random park or wherever the fuck these people are hanging out, right?
And so and then like the whole team comes in. They're all geared up with like party favors or like Christmas stuff.
Yeah, with New Year's supplies, we're like celebrating Happy New Year or whatever the fuck, right?
It's just like it's okay. It's really weird, but it's because the thing is. So it kind of makes sense when I think about it visually, but then their explanation is off. Like it doesn't make sense because the thing is, like, okay, the gong happens. Okay, just to see where I'm getting at. The gong happens, and then that's when we assume that the reset would happen, right? But then it's just like they're like, okay, whatever, we're just gonna shoot you anyways. Like, wait, what? But how did that work, right? And literally and so I see Kaito wearing happy birthday outfits. Like everybody's wearing birthday gear. Like you got Majin and Vroom and Socks, they're wearing some Christmas gear, right? So I figured, oh, maybe they're just looking at each other because the thing is, earlier in the show, they're like, oh, we just look at the Christmas stuff and we remember it's fucking December, right? So that's where I thought it would be, right? And I'll be like, oh, that's actually pretty smart. But then it comes to the explanation of what they verbally say, when he's like, how did you guys figure out how to break out of the spell? And they're like, oh, we just focused on having fun and focusing on the New Year's resolution to focus on that or some shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? What?
Yeah.
How does that make sense? It doesn't make sense at all.
It's a really bad way to plot this. To break out his weird loop.
Literally, that would have been the moment to have a flashback of Kaito and Zox looking back at the Christmas decorations, right? And then maybe it cuts back to when he was like, oh, maybe, right? And then maybe it cuts to him maybe looking at some leftover birthday cake or whatever they just didn't get to eat yet. And then maybe he's like, that's how he figures out to put on that stuff to remember. So they look at each other and be like, oh yeah, it's still December. Okay, let's fight. Right? And I'll be like, okay, that makes sense because you stopped that earlier. But then they're like, oh no, we're just focusing on having fun and on our New Year's resolutions, on our goals. We're just focusing on I'm like, what? That doesn't make sense. You had a setup and you just ignored by saying something else completely different? What? It's so dumb. I don't understand why they went there. You literally had the perfect setup and you do this. Ah!
It's really great how they break this weird fucking loop, right?
God.
It's not a good explanation too, right?
Yeah, they literally
that's the best part.
They ignore the explanation. That's literally what they're wearing, and then just go for something completely different. Like, okay, whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
But then they fight the Codex, and you get the new Sentai team that they're using for Sentai gear.
Using the Co-Ryuger, right? Which is the dancing dinosaur season, right? Because that theme season, hey, look, let's all do a little dance to solve our problems, right?
Yeah, but it's just
that was the season where Western audience very liked, but it was very mediocre when in Japan.
Oh really?
Yeah. Western audience liked that season for some reason. I personally didn't. I think it was a really bad season, if anything. Once again, it was too much of a red centric season, right? When there was 10 characters within that season. Which it was really badly story told.
Yeah. I can see what you mean. But the thing, God, and here also comes it's a lot more apparent considering last episode. But literally Sechan is like, okay, this is the team, use that gear. I'm like, please, you literally gave us an explanation on fucking Bond, the Bond world and what certain things mean. You literally gave us a meaningful explanation, and you don't do it for these teams. Why don't you do it for these teams? Please.
There's literally no if you don't know anything about Co-Ryuger, this entire scene makes extremely no sense in conjunction to anything that's happening on. Because all you see them do is just do weird dance. They start speaking a little Spanish, right? And they're like, what the fuck does all this mean? None of this is so nonsensical, right?
Yeah.
But don't worry, Will. You can read about the explanation about Co-Ryuger in Sechan's blog after this episode, so it's fine.
I'm not gonna read it. I'm not going to read it.
You should go check out his blog, where Sechan blogs about Spider-Man No Way Home spoilers, alright?
Oh my god.
And why he thinks Peter Parker is a fucking loser.
Jesus Christ. But then well, then you get what's the word?
Yeah. And then finally Stacy shows up, right?
Stacy shows up to help out, right, and defend the other world and everything.
Yeah, and defend New Year World and everything.
Yeah,
right?
But then of course he's the main focus for Stacy after that, right? I believe.
Yeah. So everyone fights Stacy, but then Zox like, oh, I'm gonna fight Stacy instead. Right? Or I'm gonna beat the shit out of New Year's World. But Stacy comes in to protect him and everything. right? Yeah. So then they fight. Yeah. So then they all fight New Year's World and everything. Right.
And then they use the another gear, Kokaicher, right?
Yeah, so they use the Gokaiger, the pirates, everyone's favorite scene, which once again, really badly explained. So literally the only thing that's a reference is what Sanchez says to make a show out of it, right? Because that was the quote unquote team model. Right, whenever they fight, like, oh boy, like, hey, right, like, pretty much everything that they're like, hey, yo, we're gonna make this an awesome fight, right?
Yeah.
Right, like, really, like, even if we're beating a bunch of children, we're gonna make this seem like a great fight.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right. Like, we're gonna make a show out of it, right? Like we paid money to be here, and we're gonna beat you up in style and everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what the Gokaijers were. They were just like. Flashy? I think flashy would be a good term to describe them, right? No, like they were more eccentric with how they fought, right? Like, hey, look, right? Like, but they weren't eccentric like how fucking Korucho, when all they did fucking random ass dance, which was irrelevant, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
and then they all switch weapons, which okay, so that's not really the Gokaiger's powers, right? The Gokaiger's power wasn't them trading weapons or switching weapons, right? The Gokaiger, that was just more of a team thing that they did, right? Right? They just did that. It's not like the main purpose of that. Hey, yo, let's trade weapons, because it didn't matter because everyone had the same gun and sword, right? Right? But it was clearly obvious that within the show establishment that some characters was better using two swords versus other characters better using two guns, right? I mean, like, every character was able to still use a gun and a sword, right? Right, but it was clearly obvious that hey, this character is a way better swordsmith than a gunsmith, right? Yeah. So that's like I guess they assume that's the Gokaiger's power, even though that's not the Gokaiger's power, right? Which is the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Like, because Gokaiger was the season where literally the whole purpose of it was them transforming into past Ranger to fight. Like, that was the season's fucking gimmick. Not hey, let's trade weapons and call it a day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but then again, in a way, I sort of get it, although, because the thing is, technically that's this gimmick too, but they just use it in a different format, also gun, but, like, machine gun.
Yeah.
But, like, so, you basically have to say, oh yeah, we're kind of already doing that, so what are we doing with that? And then, they have to figure something else, but, like, even then, it's just kind of like, eh. And even then, we still don't get well, we already said it. That's kind of the whole point, but no explanation, and I'm still annoyed, right? And then of course we get into the whole This is when Kaito like basically whips out the
Zenkai cannon, and he summons out a bunch of Ranger team that will be censored in Korea when this airs.
Oh.
Yeah, hey, it turns out Korea still not over the fact that Japan attacked them, it turned out.
Yeah, that's fair enough, I suppose, although It
was really funny, because I think it was like, well, fuck, it's been like 10 years. So 10 years ago when Gokaiger got released in Korea, right? Because Sentai is licensed in Korea, right? So there was a toy that came out, right? That features Shinken Red, right? That's the Red Ranger, the Samurai Red Ranger that Kaito summoned, right? In the toy, right? Right? He was released in a toy pack up with 5 other Rangers, right? Right? In Japan. He was released with like 4 other Red Rangers. It was a key pack of 5 Red Rangers, right? But when the toy was imported over to Korea, right? They took out his key and replaced it with a different Ranger key.
Oh.
It was really fucking funny.
God damn.
When that happened.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It turns out Korea might not be over with the fact that Japan attacked and pillaged them. It turned out.
Japan never seems to want to apologize, so.
No, but in this universe, Japan and Korea are war allies, so it's fine, all right. In this world, in the Zenkaiger world, there is only one Korea, all right.
Oh my god.
Right. Because in this, there's only hold on, fuck, hold on. Because in this world, Korea has agreed to formally end wars, all right.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
That's not a topical joke to make right now, as I'm reading this Forbes article.
Oh, you're reading something right now, aren't you, huh?
Go to r/world news real quick.
Okay, that's... Okay. Slash...
Okay, yep, type beep beep boop bop bop. That's the sound of typing, by the way.
In principle to formally end war. Wow.
That's a topical joke to make, right?
Okay, that's a line.
Yeah. So pretty much Kaito summons out a bunch of Japanese spirit rangers or whatever the fuck.
I mean,
right? To fight.
He says that they summons steel rangers, so I guess if they have steel in their name, that's how they're brought in.
Yeah, it's a very loose fucking term. It's really more just like cultural, right? Like, hey, look, here's a bunch of Japanese-based Sentai season, right?
Right.
Right, because it's like, because he says Chambra power, which Chambra is the onomatopoeia for slash, swing, right? In Japanese sword media, right? Right, so like if you watch like a samurai film, it's considered a Chambra film, right? Right, due to the sound that swords make when they clash and everything, right? But 3 of them are ninjas, and I don't think ninja wants to be going around saying like, whoosh, whoosh, slash, slash. I'm stabbing you. That's what ninjas say when they stab someone, by the way. I'm stabbing you.
It's like they're sent to assassinate like an enemy leader, and just as about to stab them, like they just go up to them, whisper in the ear, "I'm stabbing you." It's like, what? And then he gets stabbed.
Right, yeah, so it makes very loose sense, right, for 3 out of 4 of them to be summoned, right? Right, because Shinken Red, the Red Ranger, is like the only appropriate one to be summoned when Kaito says Chambra power, right?
Yeah.
It really makes no fucking sense. Yeah, but yeah, he summons out a bunch of Rangers, and they just kick their... It turns out these Rangers are better than the Zenkaiger, it turns out. It turns out, right? And they do the job better, right? And they beat the shit out of New Year's World, right?
Oh yeah, they really just like fucking bully the shit out of him and just like have him explode. Oh my God.
It's pretty funny what happens.
Yeah, they're just like... It's just they're just so casual about it now too. They just all use their power-ups and it's like, well, there he goes. And it's like, also like, I still wonder if they'll ever just like remember that they should get the Pog so they don't have like a giant enemy. Literally, the guy just walks over like, oh well, I'm gonna step on it and just become the bigger version. I'm like, guys. It's like right in front of you. Why do you guys never just bother doing it?
It's like 2 feet away. Just walk over and pick it up.
Yeah, and they just never do it. I'm like, guys, you better. This is episode 39. You've been fighting these guys for so long. You should know by now what happens. Why don't you do anything?
Oh no, they're too busy celebrating the new year, right?
Oh,
so they don't have time.
Yes.
Yeah. But hey, everyone transform. We get the Megazord, right? We got all the Megazord coming out this week to fight them, right? Yeah, so we get a bunch of New Year's cultural reference and everything, right?
Don't explain.
God, I love this.
Which is like,
God, this shit is so fucking stupid.
It got weird. Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, like the first one is the Lion Dance, which is like a traditional Lion New Year's celebration thing, right? If you ever go to like Chinatown or wherever the fuck, right? Right?
Part of me, just to say real quick, is just when the Lion Dance came in, right? When Sechon came in, I expected him to give a whole blurb explaining what the significance of it, but he's like, no, it's a Lion Dance. It's like, well, at least you're consistent now with this episode, I guess.
Yeah, no, and the best part is just fucking doing a fucking lion costume. This is the best fucking thing.
It's so weird.
This is like not even like a monster lion costume, right? That they got. No, this is just straight up like they went to like a fucking mascot company. Like, hey, you guys got a lion costume that you used to entertain kindergartners for that we can borrow. It's so fucking
it's so weird.
It's just a dude in a fucking lion.
And then you get the most egregious example of a giant enemy, where it's literally a man in a tiger suit, and the explanation for that, and it makes sense. And he's like, oh yeah, he's here because next year is gonna be Year of the Tiger. So like, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it makes
right?
sense, right?
But then I'm just like,
but it's just like the guy in the fucking tiger says like the funniest
It's just
thing.
like every time we've ever had these battles, it was always like you can tell there are people in suits, right? But the thing is, they're always designed in a sense to give they're like, oh yeah, these are giant mechs having battles, right? But then it's like you get the other two who are such juxtapositions where they're like literally people in suits, like I'm like, what? This is so jarring.
At least
It's
with the
so
lion dance, I
jarring.
mean, it looks cool enough that you can't tell it's a guy in a suit, right? Like it's
Or
like
you
because
can
it still
excuse
moves
it.
very
Yeah.
unorthodox, right?
Yeah, you can excuse
Right?
it.
Because it's fully covering his body, so it still looks like a demonic demon. But no, it's just fucking the tiger suit guy. It's just straight up a guy in a firm suit. He's like, hey, yo, what's up?
It's really weird, and I don't know.
I was half expecting for him to pull out a knife and stab one of the mechas in the stomach, right?
Oh my god.
Just pull out a butterfly knife and said, hey,
This is a.
I'm stabbing you. It's so fucking stupid this tiger enemy
Oh
is.
my god. Yeah. It's so odd. But then of course like Kaito gets stuck in this like mochi dessert thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's a New
Yeah,
Year's
it's a
thing.
New
Yeah,
Year's
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
and then he's like, "Oh, how do we get out of this
It's
one now?"
Kaito. No, it's not Kaito. It's Juren and Gawa. They get a lot of hot white sticky liquids on them, right?
I wish you didn't say that. And then fucking Kaito.
They get it all over their body and
Okay,
everything,
Kaito
right? Everywhere
Kaito
except
gets
their
the
face.
gun, the Zenkai cannon out, and uses the ship form to get out, and then literally just bombards them with the fucking ship. Literally bombards everybody with the fucking ship.
Yeah, hey, look, just shoot. Look, shoot first, ask question later, right? That's the American police system,
Yeah, okay,
right?
well,
Right
yeah,
there.
sure, but like, I'm just like, I'm kind of surprised at how, not how, but like, well, yeah, I guess so, but like, it's been a while since we've seen the ship, you know, a very long while
Right.
since we've seen the ship, and it just came out now. Like, wow, this is like what the second, third time we've seen it in total, you know,
Right.
and then of course,
Hey, look. To make that CG for that fucking Megazord cost toys a lot of money, alright? They can't afford it every single week,
it's literally
right?
stock
Right,
footage
that's the
they've
best
had-
they can get.
that they've made beforehand. Like they could just do, you know.
No,
use
that
that.
CG costs too much money, alright? That CD, you can't, they can't afford that CG costume suit, alright? But anyway, yeah. But anyway, Zox defeats the fucking guy in the tiger suit, which is still the funniest fuck. I can't get over this fucking shit with the guy with in the tiger suit and everything.
It's so weird. And then of course, everyone just.
Yeah, and I guess the gun can change size.
No, yeah, that was
right?
always apparent, I think, right? Because they used it as a ship beforehand, and then that's what leads into the other mech.
I mean, but I didn't realize it could change size to be Megazord size, right? It's like Megatron in Generations 1 Transformers, right? How you could just randomly transform into right? How he's this big robot that's even taller than the other Decepticons, right?
Yeah.
Right? But then he just randomly transformed into into a mobile gun that the other Decepticon can use, right? Like Starscream, shoot me, right? Shoot. Make me shoot my straight line over Optimus Prime.
It's so, yeah.
Right? Give Optimus Prime my blast.
Jesus.
Right?
I'll never go to the fact
That's
that
what
like,
Megatron.
out of all the things they could choose to have Megatron like transform into, it had to be just a gun.
Oh, look, we gotta keep in mind this was like the 1960s, alright? Guns. It was okay to sell guns to kids, alright? Right? This is before lobbies and laws came in, right? Or before a kid got shot by playing with a toy gun in real life, alright?
You know what? I would question the history of that, but for now I'll believe you because I just don't care.
No, that is actually what happened. It's because a kid was playing with a toy gun and someone mistaken it for a real gun and he got shot because of that. That was a real, and that's why there's a bunch of regulation on toy guns right now because of that.
Huh.
That is why legally, if you were to sell a toy gun in the United States, that's why you have to have those orange tip cap on it. Was because of that.
Oh my god. Jeez. Jesus. Alright.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to see if I can find that article. You talk about the episode.
Right, I mean, we're basically by the end of it anyway. We're basically.
Just keep talking.
They all use the Zenkai cannon after they destroy their respective the lion, the tiger. They just use the Zenkai gun, and to do this whole new this mega power version of the gun to destroy New Year's. And also, funnily enough, Stacy kind of fucks off. She just runs off when they do that move, and he just leaves fucking New Year's World to fucking die. And then and everyone's like, yeah, we won, right? And then you get like a burst of lightning from the sky, right? And then you see this whole new fucking mech come down. Also, and it kind of I'll always love the fact that it cuts back to the other three, and then Stacy literally walks into front. He's like, what the fuck's that? And then it just cuts back to the other scene where you see the new mech, where it looks like I wouldn't know how to describe this really. It kind of looks like a like if a rhinoceros decided to stand up for once in its life, right?
Hey, he looks like a real Paul Giamatti in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Some would say.
God, every time. But yeah, I mean that's basically where he ends, where it's just like everyone's kind of wondering who this fucking new mech is.
Yeah, who could this mysterious character in this red and white color-coded Megazord be, right? Who could it be? Is that Tobey Maguire in there?
No.
Is it Andrew Garfield? It could be Willem Dafoe.
Oh my
right?
God.
Is that Gwen Stacy from the Amazing Spider-Man 2, or after she died and was reincarnated into a giant mecha rhinoceros dragon?
God. Also, this episode was odd, I'll say. I guess it's just like the faults of the show are starting to become a lot more apparent now to me. So.
Right.
It's okay.
Okay, well, I can't find this new article. It exists, all right.
Yeah,
it exists somewhere.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, look, it's too much for me to Google. All right.
Yeah, you see why I can't be bothered?
Hey, if you want me to Google Spider-Man No Way Home spoiler, I can Google that faster than American history on toy gun regulations. All right. One of those is easier to find and understand. Right.
Oh my God. Yeah, but God, I mean, it's an okay episode. It's whatever. But
I mean, it's.
But you know, it's I mean, it's whatever. It's literally just like the false.
I mean, the plot's once again it's really fucking insane, right? But here's the thing, Willie. We're at episode 39, right?
Yeah, we're nearing the end. And I'm just not seeing how.
Yeah, we are nearing the end of this series, right?
Yeah,
and it's. I mean, it's not a shock for a villain to get power forms when like the last. But we gotta keep in mind, hey, Hawkeye is not the main villain of the show, right? He's just a guy who's just there to do his job and everything, right?
Honestly, I was just kind of waiting for like Ichirude or like Barashitara to become a little more relevant, you know, in terms of like actually having.
Yeah, or Bokuwas. Maybe Bokuwas can do something instead of being stuck into the wall.
There's very little interaction between the generals and like the main villain with the Sentai team. It's just very little to be done with either of them, you know, and it just feels like you should really be setting up a dynamic at this point between some of them, or at least a more solid dynamic. Because I know there was some with Barashitara and there was some with Ichirude, because I do remember them interacting with the Sentai team, but it wasn't a lot, you know, and it's just kind of like even now like maybe the Kikai Noise are aware, but nobody has really interacted with Bokuwas in any way, shape, or form to establish him as a threat or as a reason as to why he's so big and powerful. All he's really done is just kind of wave his fist around and slam down on the fucking floor, and that's it. And JJ
right. It's really fucking weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like. A lot of these are really feeling like as much fun as I've been having with the series. A lot of the important stuff has been really pushed back, and I'm like, you guys are almost done. Something needs to be happening now. I mean, it looks like it with the preview, but like this was a little late. This was really late.
Yeah, right. Because it looks like next episode they're finally setting up like the end game of this series, right?
Yeah.
A real Avengers Endgame, some would say,
Yeah,
right?
But it's just like This is like it's almost as bad as Kita Major, you know? Where it's like in Kita Major, they really just put the Emperor in, just they just slapped him in there, and he was there for a few episodes, and that was it, you know? But not then. I mean, at least we did see a lot more of Bokuwasu and everything, but I'm like, you need to have some dynamic between him and like the team at the very least to kind of really push them forward or something. But they haven't really been doing anything with that, so it's just like
yeah, it's really awkward what's going on with this way how they're handling the season, right? But don't worry, That's why the rumor mill is season 2, all right? Season 2, they'll fix it in season 2.
I'm pretty
right?
sure they're just gonna rush the ending at this point, my guy. It's just like
just to set up for season 2. Look, William. This will be a real Infinity War, right? Right for the end game.
Right, you know what? Now you're getting out of hand. All right, now this is getting out of hand now.
Hey! You know who wasn't out of hand? Gwen Stacy tried to reach for Spider-Man in the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh my God. Okay, all right. No, that's it. End it now. We're ending it. Jesus.
Hey.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Okay.
Willem Dafoe.
It doesn't. What do you mean? What is it? Okay. You know what? Coronavirus is still a thing. Fucking, get your shots, the boosters out. Take those too. Okay. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. Okay. K thinks bye.